And we begin this half hour with part two of a CBS 21 News exclusive investigation. I'm Rob Hanrahan.
And I'm Tanya Foster. Are your clothing donations actually going to charity? It's a question that we've been looking into after scores of for-profit clothing bins, mostly out of state, have recently showed up.
Yeah, yesterday we introduced you to these new bins, and today we're finding out if the state is doing enough to protect your generosity. CBS 21's Chris Pabst has the story.
You see this billboard here behind me off Route 83 in Lemoyne? This is part of what has become a clothing donation bin war in central Pennsylvania. The lines have been drawn between the for-profits and the non-profits. Now, some states have passed laws to level the playing field, but Pennsylvania has not. And some say that is hurting those in need in our area. Over the past few years, your old wardrobe has become big business. Americans toss out 13 million tons of clothes annually, which has sparked a new movement led by for-profit clothing bin companies seeking your generosity.
I would say that there is a con element to this.
These new bins generally look just like their nonprofit counterparts. Some mention their tax status, others don't. Con or not, most have charitable sounding names. And if you just pick a chute without reading or doing research on the bin, your donation may not go where you think.
This is really becoming a big problem, and if we don't stop it, it'll get bigger and bigger.
In 2009, New Jersey Assemblyman Paul Moriarty led a bipartisan effort to regulate for-profit bins in the Garden State. Municipalities can now require them to register and pay a fee. The bin must clearly identify where your clothes go and who benefits. The phone number must also work.
They're not really charities in many cases. They're just phony baloney charitable names, when in fact they're just taking your clothes and selling them and reselling them. And that's why you have people in Somalia wearing Yankees t-shirts, because your stuff is ending up there.
There's people who need free clothing, and we provide that need.
But PA is not NJ. Here, there are no specific for-profit bin regulations, which Community Aid's Glenn Chandler calls unfair. Using your donations, his nonprofit, which must register with the state, has donated more than $4 million to mid-state charities since 2009. But this year alone, donations are down $252,000 as less regulated for-profits have saturated the market.
I have to report to the IRS. I have to report to the state of Pennsylvania. Everything we do, we're transparent. They can do whatever they want. They're reporting to nobody.
They are misleading people into thinking that, they're giving something to help somebody, but they're really not.
Michael Patterson is with the Bureau of Charitable Organizations, part of the Pennsylvania State Department.
It's very profitable.
He says existing law prevents any company, which would include bins, from clearly deceiving the public, which is subjective. But since for-profit bins do not have to register with the state, Patterson admits it's harder to track them.
We do what we can within the confines of our statute.
D&M Recycling is a for-profit out of Lancaster that started in 2012. Its owner gave us this statement concerning for-profit bin laws. Quote, "I agree we should pass laws. People should clearly know what charity or what company their donations are going to." Deneen Williams with J&J Recycling out of York County, another for-profit, disagrees. She believes the state already has rules to protect the public. They just need to be enforced. She points to how her bins clearly display the words "for profit" where it's easy to see and not misleading, as opposed to other bins that don't say it at all, like this one, or where it's printed very small at the bottom.
If you're going to be for profit, don't hide behind what looks like a charity and dupe people.
When people go to donate their clothes, they really want to know who they're donating to. Every state in the nation should adopt this kind of regulation.
Now, back in 2009, legislation was introduced into the Pennsylvania House of Representatives to regulate for-profit bins. The law would have forced those bins to include this language, quote, "Donations are not for charitable purposes and will be resold for profit." But few lawmakers lent their name to the proposal, including none from central Pennsylvania, and it died. In Lemoyne, Chris Pabst, CBS 21 News.